for one of the hearings set for Monday in Fort Wayne to be postponed. As of right now, those hearings are still set for 9 a.m. and then 2 o'clock in the afternoon. News 18's Vinny Martorano joins us in the studio tonight with a look at all of that. Vinny?
Yeah, that's right. The first hearing will discuss accusations of contempt against Allen's attorneys, and the second one will be about Allen's efforts to dismiss the case altogether. Our legal expert Shay Hughes says he doesn't think either of those efforts, the contempt nor the dismissal, will be successful. The suspect in the Delphi double homicide case, Richard Allen, will be in the Allen County Courthouse on Monday, March 18th, for 2 hearings regarding the case. The first one at 9 in the morning will go over accusations from prosecutor Nick McLeland accusing Allen's attorneys Andrew Baldwin and Brad Rosie of contempt.
Contempt is willful disobedience of a court order. In this instance, there are, I believe, 2 court orders they're alleging were violated, one being a gag order and the other being a protective order, but both cite to the same kind of fact pattern that there had been evidence disclosed from the case that's been leaked to the public.
Hughes says generally both sides would present evidence and arguments be made in regards to how the court orders were disobeyed. He says ultimately, the court will decide if the court's order's been violated. He says statutorily, this can lead to fines, jail time, or a combination of the two.
If the court were to find that there was willful disobedience, I would expect only some type of fine be imposed. I'm having trouble coming to the conclusion that there's been willful disobedience of either of those court orders.
Hughes believes Rosie and Baldwin will remain on the case in the end of it. At 2 p.m., there will be another hearing to discuss Rosie and Baldwin's motion to dismiss the case altogether.
They're moving to dismiss because I think the recorded statement, one of the statements was deleted, and then there was no recording made of another witness's statement.
Hughes thinks their argument will make it difficult for a dismissal to be granted.
I would say there needs to be more, yes, and I would say the case law is just generally not favorable to defense on this subject.
Vinny, the one at 2 o'clock, that one is set in stone, but right now it really sounds like Allen's attorneys are asking for a continuance on the one that's scheduled in the morning.
Yeah, that's right. Allen's defense team filed another motion yesterday saying there's new evidence that they say McLeland promised to give them at an earlier date. The evidence dates back to March 1st, and it includes 7 recorded interviews and a deposition from First Sergeant Holman. Allen's attorneys say they received it on March 11th, but weren't able to fully look at it until yesterday due to, quote, other obligations. They say the recorded interviews contain a wealth of information that beg independent investigation of the source of various photographs that were posted on the internet and traded between people on the internet. They say if they had the admitted materials before they deposed Holman, they would have asked a lot more questions, which need to be asked the proper in preparation and representation. Hughes believes they have a good chance at getting that continuance.
It appears that there's been some pretty late discovery disclosures to the defense that, may very well impact any argument for Monday's hearing. So I think given all that, I personally feel that they're entitled to a continuance.
Now, if they get that continuance, we haven't heard exactly when that date will be if they decide to push that hearing back.
And Vinny, yesterday Rosie and Baldwin also filed a third motion to discuss throwing out the search warrant that was used to arrest Allen in the first place.
Yeah, that's right. Jeff, Allen's attorneys are saying that's new evidence that shows multiple people at the crime scene at the time of the murders. Check this out.
Geofencing data relating to 3 cell phones that were around the area the time that the murders were believed to be committed, and none of those 3 cell phones had any connection to Richard Allen.
Now, the defense attorneys say this geofencing evidence supports 3 scenarios. The first one being the people walking around with the phones are witnesses that would have observed the murders as they were taking place, but none of them have identified Richard Allen. The second one being those people were witnesses who observed nothing, as the murders wouldn't have taken place on the afternoon of February 13th, and the victims were taken to the crime scene after the search was called off. Or 3, those people participated in the murders themselves.
Okay, it's going to be a complex day for you up in Fort Wayne.
Absolutely.
On Monday. Vinny, thank you.